Hey guys, what is up? In today's video, we are going to show you the best passive skills in Palworld. Now, I will divide this into two major parts. The first one is for passive skills for base worker pals, which is the pals that work on your base. And the second part will be for your party pals or your combat pals, the pals that you use to battle and fight other pals. So the first of which is a passive called Serious. Now, Serious provides 20% increase in work speed. So if you have a pal that's working on your base, you want them to move faster, and 20% increase in work speed gives just that. So again, Serious 20% increased work speed. That is the first one. The second one would be Work Slave. So Work Slave gives a passive of 30% increase in work speed and 30 decrease in attack. So that means this pal can never attack properly because they are nerfed. And you might be wondering why. Well, we were talking about, like workers. We don't need to fight. That's not a combat pal. That is a worker pal. So you would need, Work Slave if you want 30%, work speed. Combining with Serious, that's 50%. That's pretty fast, right? And then number 3 for worker pals is these are two passives, but they're pretty much the same thing, which is Logging and Mining Foreman. So Logging Foreman gives you 25% increase in player logging, and then in Mining Foreman gives you 25% in mining efficiency. So if you have a base that has a logging place, or has a lot of trees in them, and you have Logging Foreman to that pal, they will be more efficient and will be faster when it comes to mining the trees. Same with Mining Foreman, which is, if you have rocks or ore deposits such as this, they will be more efficient by 25%. Okay, the number 4 worker passive is Workaholic. Workaholic gives you minus 15 sanity drain. So what is sanity? Sanity it's the all caps SAN or SAN. That means sanity. It's pretty much it's very self-explanatory. It's your pal's sanity bar, and your pals do have sanity bars. So if they are working too much, or the work conditions and the base conditions is not up to par, it's not comfortable for them, they don't have food, they don't have beds, they will start it to act out, meaning they would have tantrums, they would get sick, they would get injured, and so on and so forth. So if your pal has Workaholic, sanity drain is minus 15%. Number 5, it's going to be Diet Lover. So this is also very important. If your pals have Diet Lover, this gives them a decrease in hunger, which is plus 15% in decrease. So that means that they don't get hungry as fast as normal pals do. So again, your pals need food. Whenever they get, they work, they get hungry eventually, and they will need to eat. So if your pal has Diet Lover, they will get hungry less by 15%. Okay, last but not the least for worker pals is Artisan. Artisan is the best pal passive for, you guessed it, for worker pals, because Artisan gives you 50% increase in work speed. So that means if your worker pal in your base, let's say it's a Kativa, and you bred them to have Serious, Work Slave, and Artisan, they have 100% work speed. So they're 100% faster than the normal pal working at your base. So again, that is for workers, right? Your worker pals, your base pals. Now we go towards your party or battle pals. We also have 6. The first of which is Musclehead. So Musclehead gives you plus 30% attack and minus 50% work speed. So if your pals have Musclehead, they attack. Their attacks are stronger, but they can't be used as worker pals because they are going to be nerfed in terms of work speed. That is Musclehead. The second one is Burly Body, which increases their defense by 20%. So if your pals, you're fighting, you're grinding, of course you need to have a little bit of defense for your pals so they don't, get knocked out easily. Burly Body gives them 20% defense, meaning they're more tankier than normal pals. So again, that's Burly Body, 20% for their defense. The third is Ferocious. This is, for me, one of the best ones because Ferocious increases your pal's attack power by 20%. So imagine having Ferocious and Musclehead in your attack. That's 50% attack plus 50%. That means your pals hit so much harder than normal pals, right? So again, Ferocious gives you 20%, attack. Number 5 is Vanguard. So Vanguard, this doesn't really, have anything to do with your pal, but to you yourself as a player. So Vanguard gives players a 10% buff when it comes to damage. So that means you, as the player, if you start attacking the pals that your pals are fighting, you get 10% more damage if your pal has Vanguard. And last but not the least, for party pals, you have, Legend. Now, Legend, as you can see, if I press tab and go to my party and click on my Jet Dragon has Legend. And as you can see, attack plus 20%, defense plus 20%, movement speed increases by 15%. Now, only a few pals have this. The legendary pals have Legend. So that means Crystallion, Jet Dragon, and then Necromus and Palladius. Those 4 legendaries only have Legend. So how do you get Legend to your normal pals, to your party pals, to your, for example, Vaylette? You need to breed the Legend passive to the pal that you want to have it. So again, Legend is one of the best, but again, this is a bit late game because you only get them from Legendary. All right, so aside from your worker pals and your combat pal passives, there are also 2 passives that you actually need to consider. The first of which is Lucky. Lucky you can get from very extremely rare pals, which are technically they're shinies, they're sparkly, and once you catch them, they're gonna be having this small icon. If you see here, I'm gonna point an arrow here in this Pengulate. There's some like sparkly like effect here compared to the normal Pengulate. They're also gonna be bigger, and they're gonna have the Lucky passive. So Lucky, if you look at this one, work speed 15% and attack speed 15%. So this is good for both worker pals and then combat or party pals. So you should consider Lucky as well. Now the second one will be Swift, or any movement speed increase pal. So as you can see here, Swift, 30% increase in movement speed. Pretty fun. I think there's like 4 in total, I think, movement speed buffs for passives. And if you have all of them in one mount, you're gonna zoom around. But again, if you have Jet Dragon, hey, you can have Jet Dragon base without the passives, without the movement speed passives, is already very fast. So if you breed a Jet Dragon with the movement speed buffs, then yeah, you're gonna be Speed Racer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Hope you liked it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell icon, and we'll see you on the next one.